Hello students, welcome to the next lecture, or we can say another lecture on the electric drivetrains. This will be the last lecture of our first chapter and we will commence our second chapter from the next lecture. So in the case of the electric drivetrains, we saw about the different topologies that are being used for the electric drivetrain, or we can say the different architectures based on the propulsion system. Right, we only classified the system based on the propulsion system. There can be different arrangements for the energy storage as well in case of the electric drivetrains as well. So the different architectures for the electric drivetrains will be there depending on the energy storage as well. So let's start our video with the different electric drivetrain topologies based on the energy source. Right, again there will be 6 different energy source classification in the EV drivetrains. You can see right now the 4 types. The configuration, the first one, before starting that, let's again see the first letters that we are using for the components. B is for the battery, C is for the capacitor, or it is known as the ultra capacitor. FW is the flywheel, P is for the power converter, FC is for the fuel cell, and R is used for the reformer. Right, let's see the configurations. The first configuration you can see right now is the EV configuration with the battery source. Simply the battery transmits the power to our power converter, and the further system will be same. The motor will be connected with our transmission system, so it is all the things that are same. Again, the second configuration that you can see right now is the EV configuration with 2 battery sources. Right, there are 2 battery sources. The 2 battery sources that are used, there is very particular reason for that. The battery has 2 main characteristics. First one is the specific energy and second one is the specific power. The specific energy denotes the range of the vehicle. The more the energy specific, the more will be the range of the vehicle, which means at one charge the vehicle can be run at more number of kilometers if the specific energy of the battery is higher. If the specific power of the battery is higher, then the power or the speed of the vehicle which is being generated with the help of electric vehicle will be more. So either one of them can be selected. If we are using the 2 battery source, then one battery source will have higher specific energy and one will have higher specific power. In the case of the electric vehicles, specific energy is much more important compared to the specific power, because the range is an important factor for the electric vehicle, and because of the disadvantages of the lower range, the vehicle became obsolete during the earlier time, that is 1924. So the range is a very important factor. In the case of the hybrid vehicles, the battery will have more specific power and we do not require specific energy because we already have an IC engine in it. Right, so this is the reason we are using the 2 batteries in the second configuration that you are seeing. In the third configuration, that is figure 4C, that is EV configuration with battery and fuel cell. One is battery, the second one will be fuel cell. The battery will have higher specific energy and fuel cell is generating power. It is a conversion of the process, right? The electrolysis process, the reversal. Right, the hydrogen will be generated, that is being transmitted the power to the power converter, and also the battery will generate the power and transmit the power. So there are again 2 energy sources, one is battery, second is fuel cell. Both the things supplies the electric power. Fourth configuration that you can see is the configuration with multiple energy sources. In the case of the multiple energy sources, you can see that battery and fuel cell, but with the fuel cell, one reformer is connected. That reformer can be used to charge the battery with the help of the fuel cell as well. In the earlier configuration, the fuel cell can only transmit the power in one direction, but if it is not being used, then fuel cell can transmit the power of the hydrogen. That hydrogen generates the electrical power, and that electrical power can also be transmitted to our battery as well for the charging. So these were the 4 classifications. Another 2 classification you can see right now is first EV configuration with battery and capacitors, or we can say battery and ultra capacitor. Now ultra capacitor has very higher specific power, and it is one of the alternate energy source that we will learn in detail in the chapter number 2. But that ultra capacitor has higher specific power and battery has higher specific energy, so that combination works pretty good in this configuration. And the last configuration is the battery and the flywheel. Right, that flywheel is also another energy source, same as the ultra capacitor, and these 2 things will have an individual power converter which will then be connected with the normal power converter, which is for the battery. So you can see in this figure that either flywheel or ultra capacitor can also be used in combination with our battery. Let's see the fuel efficiency analysis. Right, the fuel efficiency analysis on the base of the hybrid vehicles, electric vehicle, and depending on our IC engine. The fuel efficiency can be increased by the number of factors. The first one is the reducing the vehicle resistance, the number of resistance that are being generated during the vehicle driving. First one is the rolling, second is the aerodynamic resistance, and the third one is the gradient resistance. These resistances can be optimized. Also improving the engine operation efficiency. The operation efficiency will be improved with the help of electric vehicle compared to the IC engine. Also we will have to properly match the transmission. Now that part will be properly done in case of the EVs, because EVs use an electronic based gear matching system, or we can say the electronic based speed control, right? Because only one gear ratio is used as we saw, but the gear matching, or we can say the speed selection, will be done electronically, so it will be more accurate than the manual thing. And we will use an advanced drivetrains whenever required to get the fuel efficiency. There is one graph in the below part that you can see for the fuel efficiency is for the fuel consumption based on the vehicle speed. Now you can see that in the case of vehicle speed based on kilometer per hour, and the fuel that is being consumed liter per 100 kilometer, the graph is showing the fuel consumption for the petrol engine, or we can say for the IC engine. Now that graph you can see there are number of fuel that is being consumed because of the average fuel efficiency. But if we talk about the electric vehicle, that consumption will be calculated in kilowatt hours. How much kilowatt is used per hour will be the fuel efficiency for our electric vehicle, or we can say for the hybrid electric vehicle, in which the electric part will be calculated based on the kilowatt hour. So this is how the fuel efficiency can be compared of the IC engine with our electric vehicle and also with our hybrid electric vehicles. This is simply, you can see the introduction for the fuel cell drivetrain. There is a separate chapter for the fuel cell of the vehicle. We will discuss that detailed fuel cell vehicle during that chapter. But in this, you can see the layout, simple layout of the fuel cell vehicle, how the fuel cell vehicle work. It is pretty much self-explanatory, but let's see the components that needs to be used. First is the fuel cell. Right, the fuel cell use the water and from which the hydrogen and oxygen is separated. That fuel cell is connected with our battery, or also the fuel cell is connected with our hydrogen tank. Right, the hydrogen tank supplies the fuel into the fuel cell, or we can say hydrogen. Then again the power is being transmitted towards our electric engine with with the help of battery or with the help of the fuel cell. Right? Fuel cell is the reversal procedure for the electrolysis process, in which the hydrogen and oxygen will be combined with the oxygen from the atmosphere and hydrogen from the hydrogen tank. That fuel cell will generate an electricity at the opposite of the electrolysis process, that will go towards our battery, or directly electricity can be supplied to our electric engine, or we can say the electric motor that will generally be used in this case. And that electric engine or motor is connected with our axle, that is rear axle, and that rear axle will run based on the speed of our electric motor, and our vehicle can be driven with the simple fuel cell method. Hydrogen storage is one of the major problems for the hydrogen vehicle, so this needs to be sought out as well. And also there are different methods for the fuel cells as well, that we will see during we will learn the chapter of the fuel cell as well. So here our first chapter is coming to an end. We saw about the hybrid drivetrain, electric drivetrain, and also see about the introduction for the fuel cell drivetrain. From the next lecture we will start a new chapter. Until then, thank you so much.